Okay, so we have Pete Navarro here, lost in top 32. We got me, Inch 95, Vexicus 466, Cordero, and SlimXTeamSymmetry.
I'm the hat.
The hat. And yeah, we want a deck profile from Pete Navarro. So go ahead and do your deck profile.
Yeah, playing Dragons is kind of the norm. It's almost similar to the same list I played in Anaheim. There's slight differences. 3 water, 3 fire, pretty much explanatory. 3 earth, 3 wind. My personal favorite, Card Trooper. A lot of people don't like it because of the random mills. They feel it gets Crimson Bladed. I got Crimson Bladed all the time. I always had my best friend Scarecrow with Dark Claw, so it always worked out. I think this is the best card. Delving 4 into your deck is good. 3 from the mill, 1 from the draw. It's overpowered, and a lot of people don't realize how good it is. This is probably single-handedly one of the best cards, and it even won me games against the rogues like Evil Sworn and going against Consellers. So. I dropped 1 Corseska down, left 1 in, and that's one of the slight differences. Flameville Guard, 2 Debris Dragons. I choose to still play Maxis and still to play Veilers. A lot of people don't like Veiler, but people seem to realize that it's still a tuner. Even if in the worst situation, it's still a tuner. And you got to realize that you don't always want to waste your dragons. Sometimes you might want to draw good consonants in that. This is important. A lot of people don't give enough credit. I mean, if you play against Blue Eyes variants, you have hand traps like these, they get completely wrecked. And that's one reason why I still like them in there, and people don't understand that. Swift Scarecrow, you have to, just so you don't want to lose to the opposing matchups. Dark Hole, this is Scarecrow's best friend. They always hand in hand. Every time someone attacked me committed, Scarecrow, Dark Hole. Usually, pretty much they lose. Gold Sark, this is still good. It's more of a side out game 2 and 3, but it's really good turn 1 to help speed up progression. Book of Moon. The other difference I put in 2 was instead of the Corseca, added in the next Mystical Space Typhoon. 1 was fine, maybe could have used 2, but it was perfectly, the way it was. I took out 1 card of Consonance and added a 3rd Ravine. This actually worked out really well. Field Spell Wars are important. I played against Gravekeeper Worms. He had Necro Valley. This helped get over because I had multiple copies. Using Ancient Fairy Dragon 2 with this is like really powerful, so having as many searches as possible is good. 3 Swords, and again I said 2 Consonants. I knocked 1 down. 2 Vanity's Emptiness, it's really good. You have to main it. Some people prefer other tech choices, but I really like it myself. Regeki Break, I just like the fact that it interacts better when they deal with Vanity's Emptiness up, and you can just take away multiple cards from them. Wing Blast is good, but I still prefer Regeki Break, I've always have. And Return from the Different Dimension, which I really feel this needs to get banned because this card steals games from people. So, alright, and that's the main deck. Alright. Going on to the extra deck, Armory Arm. This is good because of the OTKs. I actually did it against one of the mirror matches. I made sack, made arm, equipped, summoned 3 dragons, had all of them ram into the monster, and he died just because it burned him out for a game. Orange Dragon, no one plays it, but I kind of figured that with everyone going Stardust turn 1, and if you can deal with the Vanity's Emptiness that they set up with it, if you can take out the Stardust, you're pretty much going to win. So that's why I still play it. And then other than that, you can just use it to make with a level 1 and tuner. Ancient Fairy is good. Black Rose, I had 2. Mix. Yeah, 2 Black Rose. Thought Ruler Archfiend, this is good against all the rogues and stuff. Stardust Dragon, Colossal Fighter, Scrap Dragon, Crimson Blader. I only played 1. I rarely can go into it just because there's so many threats in the game. Like, there's so many scenarios that it works against. So, Star Eater, you have to. Best card. Big Eye. I only used this once. I get a mirror match. I blinked one of his creatures, took it, and then just went off from there. And that's all I did. And 2 Draco Sacks and the Gaia Charger. I didn't really make Guard Charger at all, but when I was playing in Anaheim, I played against Mirror Match, and I pierced one of the tokens for game. He was at 24, so this is why I still like it. Alright, and then my sideboard, pretty much a lot of it was good to it when I used. 2 Electrovirus. I played Gear Karkuris. This helped me win game 2, but I didn't pull anything good in my game 3, so I had to go on X2 for day 1, and it was okay. It was for Mirror Match too, but I don't really use it. Fencing Fire Ferret. I played all the rogues. I played 2 Consellers, 2 Evil Sworns, and I beat both of them. Not just because of this card, but because of more stuff in my sideboard, but this card helps and steals away a lot of games from them. Morphing Jar number 2. I cited it in Anaheim, I cited it here because I love this card. I mean, every time I draw it, it's so happy to see me, so, I mean, that's badass. And then not to mention, too, like, this ultimately trolls them when they flip it up, they're like, oh, fuck, that's a bad card. So this is probably one of my favorite ones from it. I mean, it's still good. One of my personal tags I put in there was Mateo, the Time Lord. It's a fire. It's a fire, and it's also, usable in the mirror match because a lot of people will side Vanity's Fiend, a lot of people will set up a Stardust Dragon. If they're running Regeki Break and not running Wing Blast is technically their only out to deal with this card. So what I would do is I would break the fields up. Oh, if I got Crimson Bladers, summon this, bounce everything off the board, reset it. A few game wins that I got with this card was when my opponent MST'd his face-down card, he chained Return. I summoned more dragons than summoned this, and I bounced all the cards back for game, and I knew he had a Scarecrow in hand, so that's how I won. So all the burn damage that he gives. And then the other thing I did with this was that I returned not in return. I summoned him, then played return because I didn't have a power enough setup because he was trying to go off with another play. I attacked, I bounced all my hand traps back. I could bounce back a Maxi, a Veiler, a Scarecrow, and a Dragon, and then got all the effects back off again. So that's why I played this. So it was just pretty much a prime setup because there's nothing they can do to this card, so it's really good. 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, sided in against all the rogues. It kind of has to be in there. It's really good, so. 2 skill drains. I beat all of the rogues because of this. I played against Constellars, beat both of them. I actually was at 700 life points by the time I resolved this card, and I was able to win because of it. He single couldn't handle it, used Sunbrace to come back, and that's all his top deck out was. 2 Divine Wrath. It's mainly meant for spellbooks. And it's usually meant if I'm worried about mirror match and depending on their tech and stuff, because Electrovirus, you need a way to deal with it. I mean, I could run Debunk too, but I just like Divine Wrath just because against spellbooks, it gets rid of the magicians and maybe even the world when they set up with it. That's the only reason why that's in there. 1 Royal Decree. I didn't feel like I needed more. I'm very comfortable playing against a lot of rogue matchups. I've played them for years, so I understand how it is to deal with those types of matchups. And then one of my personal favorite checks was Non-Aggression Area this weekend. This card single-handedly steals away games because it's a Crimson Blade. Non-Aggression Area is during your standby phase is when you can activate it. You discard 1 card in your hand, your opponent can normal summon, set, or special summon for their entire turn. Okay, the card single-handedly is basically a Crimson Blader in trap form. Now, a lot of players aren't familiar with how it works, but basically what you do is you activate on your turn when you're ready to make a power play. Even if your opponent has Scarecrow and you do commit to the field, there's absolutely nothing they can do. Even if it were a Dark Hole, it wouldn't matter. So what you do is you play the card, let them go off, attack with everything. If they Scarecrow, oh well, they cannot summon anything on their turn. So again, they're still wide open. You draw and come off from there. The only time you'd have to worry is if they have like Regeki or even Return. But even then, that's even more powerful in and of itself. But this card can single-handedly steal games away from a lot of people. And I actually won all my mirror matches that I played in the entire tournament with these cards. So, I mean, unfortunately, I wanted to win. That was pretty much my deck profile. I lost in top 32 because of a technicality going on with my sleeves. I bought 2 player choice sleeves before the start of the event. Sleeved everything in. Apparently, when they did the deck check on myself, that my sleeves weren't exactly the same fitted sleeves because my extra deck had slightly larger sleeves than my main and my sideboard. So they penalized me for that and gave me a handicap for top 32 with a game 1 loss. So automatically, I had to basically 2-0. But unfortunately, obviously that didn't happen. But I did win game 1, and in game 2, I just didn't have anything. So, but I mean, overall, the deck did really well. The sideboard I was very happy with, and right now, I think Dragons is the best deck. So, yeah. All right, and that's pretty much it, guys.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.